Growing up, I can't say that I was looking for a fairy tale, a knight in shining armor. No, I can't say that. But I did know that I wanted to be a wife and a mother. So here I am, divorced. So I completely covered myself in the Lord. I was getting a bit fed up, to say the least, just to be honest and transparent. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm doing everything you're asking me to. I'm here Sunday, I'm here Monday, I'm here Wednesday. And all I'm asking is for someone to love me. As crazy as I can get, I just want someone to love me, to understand me. My mom would always tell me, you want somebody that's going to love you more than you love them. And at first I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's not nice. And I got what she meant though, because you know that you're gonna love them. You know that you're gonna put all that forth, that effort. But when you got somebody that matches that, oh man, sky's the limit, right? So my best friend at the time said, "You got to get out," because I fallen in a state of depression. So she took me out to this place called Austin Avenue, and I was like, girl, why in the world you gonna bring me here? I was covered from head to toe. I had a hat on, I had a wig on, I had this like sheer button up top. I had leggings on, I had boots. I was just covered up. Wasn't nothing jiggling or jangling on me. Okay. I had told myself that night that this was like my last little hoorah before I was about to give up on God, and I was going to drink heavily. I was just going to waste myself. And then the next morning, with it being Sunday, I was just going to just kind of, in a sense, denounce him and just go back into the world because I had given up on trying to wait on God. I went, I was there in the atmosphere, and it's two different sides of this place. And I was on the one side where I guess you could smoke on, and they were ordering drinks. We were ordering drinks, and I was at the bar, waiting on my drinks and stuff like that. And me and my friends, we were sitting around the table and we were talking. They were asking me about my ex-husband, and I began to cry. And they were like, "No, don't do that here." And so they were like, let's get up, let's go and let's go get on karaoke. Let's laugh, let's be happy, let's have a good time. And so we did that. And as I'm venturing over onto the other side, I see this guy on stage, smiling, had his arms around his friends, and he's just having a good time. And I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't pay no mind because I was like, look, baby, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm not going to get hurt again. Nope, no, no, sorry, bye. You cute. Okay, but I don't know you. So I was drinking, dancing, and so then I turned to my best friend. I was like, girl, he is cute. I want him. I want to talk to him. And she was like, okay. And I was like, no, 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 girl, no. She goes and she points to, my understanding now was his friend. And I was like, no, 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 not him. So then she points to Darren. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So she taps on him and she, talks to him, whatever, and says, like, my friend wants to talk to you know. And so he says to her, oh yeah, I wanted to talk to her too. I saw her too. And so he comes over to me and he's like, are you gonna sing? Are you gonna do karaoke? And I was like, nah, I think I'm too drunk. And he was like, now that's the best time. And so I was like, okay. I was like, what about Halo, Beyonce? He was like, nah, that's too slow. So I was like, okay, what about Rihanna, Rude Boy? And so he was like, okay, we can do that. So he put the song in. In the meantime, he, and I start dancing because they were like, all the pretty girls to the stage because it was wobble coming on. So he says, he said, all pretty girls to the stage, you need to go. And so I'm dancing, I'm wobbling, literally wobbling because I'm drunk, but I'm wobbling. And so he dances behind me. He asked me for my number, something. We exchanged numbers, long story short, or whatever, right? so by then my song comes on, which I'm supposed to sing. So I'm up here on stage singing to him. I'm drunk. I'm a rude boy, boy, can you? I'm like, Lord. So I'm singing to him, whatever. So the night ends and we leave, you know. So I get into the car and I'm like looking for my phone because I had given him my number and I'm like, where is my phone, you know? And so I couldn't find it. So we go back in, couldn't find it. I'm devastated at this point. I'm upset because I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm steadily losing my phone. And then mind you, I just got a number to for my hot, dude, you know. So the next day happens and I go to church or what have you, and talking to my best friend and stuff like that. And so I get a call from actually a text from my one of my other good friends, and she's like, "Hey, the dude from last night found your phone." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's great!" She was like, this is his number. Hit him up, get your phone. So me and my best friend go and pick up my phone, and I was nervous to get out the car because I was like, I don't remember how he looks, I got out the car and he just looks at me, has this big smile, and he looks down at me, and I look up at him, and I'm just captivated in this moment. In the back of my head, I'm like, Lord, I feel this connection to him. I'm sober at this point. I'm like, wow, he's beautiful. So we get back in the car. He hands me my phone, and he was just like, just staring at me. And we begin to talk, y'all. We talked for what seemed to be like hours in the car. My best friend's in the front seat, and we're just talking and smiling and things like that. And so, he eventually he eventually gets out the car, and from there we just proceeded to talk and stuff like that on the phone and things like that. And he pursued me, and so then we had our first date. And it was funny because every time we tried to make arrangements to get a date, something would happen. And so I finally caved in because he bamboozled me. He was like, you're always busy. What are you doing tomorrow? I said, oh, I got plans. And he was like, okay, what are you doing? I can't remember what day, but I was like, oh, dang, I ain't got nothing to do. He's like, okay, cool. So December 1st is when we went on our first date. December 1st of 2013. And he was like, we went and saw the Black Activity, a very dry movie, but he went and bared with me the movie. And so we saw the movie, and by the end of the movie, he was walking me back to my car, and he asked me, are you gonna be my lady? Can you be my lady? And I was like, yeah. And so, yeah, that was that on that. And by February of that following year, we were moving in to our apartment together. Well, actually, it was my apartment. He made that very clear. It's like, I'm not shacking with you. This is your apartment. I'll come and visit. So I eventually got him to move in or whatever. So he moves in. By June of that year of 2014, we discovered that we were pregnant with Demi. And so November 8th came, our baby shower, and he drops to his knee and he proposes to me at our baby shower. I had no clue. He asked me while we were dating, however, would I get married again? I was like, absolutely. He asked me would I change my last name. I was like, absolutely. And he asked me something that I've never experienced before. Like, how would I want to be proposed to, right? And so I was like, wow, that's a good thought, but I'm very traditional. Like, I would want someone to ask my mom. I would definitely would want someone to ask my dad, and I would want it to be around people, around family and friends, so they can take witness because I've been through heartbreak. I want them to see me rise for once. And he was like, oh, okay. So at our baby shower, he drops to his knee in front of family and friends, and he asks me to marry him. And I said yes. I'm an ugly crier. I was so upset, but yeah. And so then, I want to say a week or two later, the day before Thanksgiving, we go to the courthouse, and we actually obtained our license. I want to say a week later, and then we had so many days to get married, and so we chose the day before Thanksgiving of that year. And so we went and on our appointment, and the judge left because it was the day before Thanksgiving. So he left. We made it on time or whatever. He just, decided not to, I guess, take any more appointments. So we were frantic. We were scrambling, trying to figure out where we were going to go because we were adamant about getting married on that day. And so luckily, one judge was like across town because we were in Garland at the time, and we had to drive to Richardson. And he was like, I'll wait for you, And so we drive to Richardson, and we sealed the deal. We got married in front of a high school friend of mine and her mother, who actually took pictures. And it was just going to be us two. We actually were not going to have any witnesses there. It was just going to be us three, actually, me, him, and Demi. And so we got married, and the rest was history. February 8th of 2015, we gave birth to Demi, our beautiful daughter. February 4th of 2018, we gave birth to our beautiful son, Denham. And as we are about to embark on our 5th year anniversary, I couldn't be more at all about about the man of God that God has brought into my life. I've been through so much pain and so much loss and devastation, and as much of trials and tribulations that we went through, and things that I've put him through, and things that he's placed me through. I couldn't imagine myself without him. I'm grateful that God has given him the perseverance, the endurance, the tolerance for me, the patience, the wisdom. And every day I get to experience this man that has given me everything I've ever asked for in my life. It's not perfect. It's not beautiful every day. We struggle. But the stretch marks, it's like a sign to prove that you're growing. There's growth, and I look at my belly to show a prime example that, I gave birth to someone, and I get to see the manifestation of our children walking around to prove that, what I bared. And I just think back on the things that I went through in my life, and I'm so grateful. And I know God is real. And I know that He heard my prayers, and you gotta be very specific about what you pray for, but you gotta trust and believe that God will manifest it. You have to be patient. And I think back on how close I was to give up on Him, the Lord, because I didn't want to be patient. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be understood. I just wanted to be appreciated, because I got tired of being trampled on. I got tired of men not understanding my worth or me, or, not feeling like I was enough. And here it is, this man that he's my lover, he's my friend, he's my husband, he's the man that I go to seek wisdom. And every day of my life, I get to see that smile that brought me to him to begin with. And I am so grateful and so honored to be able to spend the rest of my life with him. I'm grateful to carry his name. I'm grateful to bear offsprings that will carry his name. I'm grateful for the life that he's given me. And now
when he asks me questions, I try my hardest to be specific because I know that 9 times out of 10, he's taking a mental note and he's going to try to apply them and try to make it come to pass. Everything he does, he literally tries his best to manifest the dreams that I've spoken to him. And I really appreciate that. So here's to you, my king. I love you so very much. Happy 5-year anniversary. I pray for many, many more. And I thank you for your patience, your understanding, and your tolerance of me. I pray that I have been the best wife that I can possibly be to you, the best mother to your children. And I pray that this carries on for many years to come. I love you so very much, man of God. Happy 5-year anniversary from your wife, your friend, Whitney Davis.